Guys, don't tell anyone, but I got my hands on an early copy of The Last of Us Part 2. You want to see it? Here it is, right here. So all jokes aside, I've been playing the new God of War game, and I have a few thoughts about it, and I want to share them with you today. So just a disclaimer, I was going to have some footage, or more footage, I'm not sure how much it is like this, but I was going to have some footage of the game in this video, but all the footage I recorded, all 7 hours of footage, is all corrupted. As fuck my life. So I'm just gonna make do with what I have, because I'm not gonna go back and re-record it, because that'd be way too much work. But I do have some footage from some other God of War games that I'm gonna throw in here just for comparison reasons. And yeah, so let's get on with the video. So like I said, I've been playing the new God of War game, and so far, I like it, I enjoy it, and I'm having fun playing it. But I do have some gripes with the game. One main gripe is that in terms of a God of War game, it does not feel like a God of War game whatsoever. So what I liked about the old God of War games is that it was very flashy in the combat, and you could just do sick combos of just swinging your blades around and destroying giant enemies and then just ripping people apart. And while there is some of that in this game, it's just not there as much as it used to be, and that bothers me somewhat. I'm not saying this new God of War is bad. In fact, it's a great game so far. I'm only about 6 or so hours into it. 6, 7, something around that, I'm not exactly quite sure. And so I haven't experienced the whole game. I don't have the full experience to tell you about. I don't know, I just forgot how to words there. But it's great, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it does not feel like a God of War game, like I said. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I wish that they would have called it not God of War, but something else, because then it wouldn't have the other 6 games to go off of, to judge it off of. And that's just something that's personally holding it back for me. And I still think, if you think of God of War games as the other 6, 3 is still the best one in my opinion. But like I said, I haven't beaten this one yet. Another annoyance I have in the game is that your son, Atreus, whatever his name is, he can get kind of annoying. He'll be in combat and he's always like, "Father!" all the time. And I understand what the point of him doing that is. It's his father, he's making sure he's okay. Whereas other times where he can get a little annoying in parts, because he'll kind of I'm trying not to spoil it at all. I'm trying not to spoil it at all, but he can get kind of annoying at some parts, and that's just one takeaway I have. Other than that, I think the combat is fun. I don't like how the default is to use the shoulder buttons to fight. I know you can change it, but by the time I figured that out, I was already getting used to the current control scheme, so I didn't want to have to relearn to play it. But I always hate using the shoulder buttons for combat unless it's a shooter. That's why I don't really like the Elder Scrolls and some other games like that, because I don't like using the shoulder buttons. But I'm getting the hang of it, and it works. But combat-wise, it's still not as fun and as fluid and as just badass looking as the other God of War games. I do like the axe. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much Thor's hammer, but an axe, because you throw it and it comes back to you, which is pretty badass. But I like how you can use it in combat, because you can just throw it at enemies and they get stuck in them, and then you just recall it back. And some enemies you can just throw it at them. You can even go with 2 enemies at once sometimes, and it's pretty cool. And you also use it in puzzles a lot, and I find that pretty fun. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say about that, and all that stuff's cool. And again, I'm going to keep rehashing this because I want to make this point clear. This is a good game, and I like it. I'm not trying to rag on the game and say it's bad or anything like that. I don't want to get that, opinion out there, or not. I don't want people thinking that's my opinion about it. But, it's fun to play, and it's cool, and I forgot where I was going with this. Wow, I completely forgot my train of thought. Completely. I was probably going to go somewhere. I was probably going to say something like it's still not as fun as, or whatever, as the other God of War games. But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. One of the things, I want to talk about Kratos himself. And one thing I do like about this new Kratos, even though it's the same Kratos, but it's a new Kratos, whatever, is I like his design better. The older designs of Kratos, he was pretty much naked. He was just wearing the man skirt thing and some shoulder armor, but only in 2 and 3. Oh, and the gauntlets for his chains and stuff like that. But I think he was just a big shirtless muscular dude, which I was like, this is weird, but whatever, it works. But this new design, it looks a lot cooler, in my opinion. I like the beard and all that stuff. But character-wise, now, people always complain that Kratos is just a very one-note character. He always was angry and yelling and stuff like that, and he wasn't a very likable character. And a lot of that is true, but there is plenty of moments in the original games where he does have more human size and he shows more emotion. And I feel like a lot of people ignore that. But I also like that about Kratos. Like, I don't feel like every main video game character needs to be a likable, heroic character. Why can't we ever play a game where the character's just an asshole? Like, why not? Like, why does a character always have to be the likable, nice guy? Or have, like, human emotions, or feel more human? Like, I think for that's fine, but I don't feel like every single game needs that. And I feel like some characters can, like, I feel like a character like Kratos worked how he was. And, like, he still kind of works this, but again, it's not Kratos. It's a different character at this point. Also, I just want to go another rant about how, like, so many games are drifting more to, like, a more interactive movie feel. And that's fine, I guess, but if I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie. I don't like how they're getting so more, like, cinematic feel to them, because it's starting to feel less like a video game at some points in a lot of these games, like the Telltale games or some other adventure games, which that's a different genre, I know, but they're more just feeling like interactive movies than they are games. And there seems to be a more recent trend of, especially like game journalists, complaining that like a game feeling too video gamey, which I always hate that. Like, it's a video game and your complaint is that it feels like a video game. Okay, enough of that rant or tangent, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's basically my hot takes, my fresh first impressions. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's basically how I feel about the first few hours. Like I looked up, the game takes about 20 hours or so to beat, and I'm only like at like 6.5 or so hours in. So I'm only like a quarter way through the game. So I really have, I still have a lot more to go. But this, from what I've played, the game's fun. I like it. It's very gorgeous. It's one of the best looking PS4 games ever. I mean, first-party Sony games always look really fantastic, but they always seem to, like, each major new one that comes out is like, because like there's like Uncharted 4 is like, oh wow, this is freaking gorgeous, and then like Horizon's like, oh wow, this is great, and then God of War is like, holy, what the jeez, you know, what are PS5 graphics gonna look like? It's just gonna be a simulation of real life. It's gonna be weird. But enough about the graphics. It's, I don't know, it's a fun game. I like playing it. It's cool to explore. I don't like how the over the shoulder thing is just like so like up right behind Kratos. Is like, can you like back away, dude? Like, I can feel your breath on my neck. It's like weird, but I don't know. It's fine. But other than that, like, the game is great, and I'm definitely gonna go back and play more of it, and I'm definitely gonna try to beat it and get the platinum trophy, because this is like the first God of War game not to have difficulty trophies related to it, and that's good because those games are hard. But the main takeaway I have is this doesn't feel like a God of War game, and that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but I just kind of wish that Sony Santa Monica just made a new IP based off Norse mythology. I feel like that would have been cooler, because then you wouldn't have the 6 other games attached to it, and you'd be like, how is this like this? Because that's all I'm thinking of. And that's just kind of had a similar gripe with Breath of the Wild, and I know a lot of people even had a similar gripe with like some of the Final Fantasy games. And I guess it's fine. So if, like, this is the first God of War you're playing, that's great. But if you go back and try to play the other God of War games, just know that they're nothing like this. But that's about it for this video. Those are like my overall thoughts and impressions on God of War for the PS4. That rhymes. God of 4, because it's technically God of War 4, I guess, but there's no 4 in the title, because it's like both a reboot and a sequel, which makes no goddamn sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this game, and yeah. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit the like button, and hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about my video and this game in general, and how you feel about the other, or how do you feel about how different it is compared to the other God of War games. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.